Hey guys, today we're going to go through the applying conditional probability and independence tutorial. We're going to skip those first couple slides, and then we're going to go to this first one. Now, this just talks about saying you've got a job with an online travel agency, and they're going to, you can read through that if you want, but they're basically just setting you up for this scenario. Here's a video that you can choose to watch if you want, but it's basically just saying what your duties would be on this travel agency and some of the questions you get. And a lot of the questions that you get in a travel agency are about like oversold flights, like could you get bumped from the flight, mishandled baggage, other things that could go wrong on a trip. So this just kind of describes some of those delays, diversions, things like that. And so a travel agency might get those questions. This knowledge article right here, we're going to have to make sure we click on that because we're going to need to use that quite a few times. Okay. And this first activity, it says that we're looking at the oversold flights by carrier. Flights are often oversold, which just means that they sell more tickets than they have seats, kind of banking on people not showing up. But this talks about what is your risk of being denied boarding or getting bumped from a flight depending on the airline. So here, what is the chance that I will be denied boarding despite having a valid ticket if the carrier is JetBlue? So this is just a matter of interpreting the table, and the probability of being denied boarding if the carrier is JetBlue is 0.0002. 0.0002%. And that's just coming straight off that table, which is right, yay. And then now, if the carrier is Continental, where's Continental? All the way down at the bottom. Then that's your probability. It's higher than with JetBlue, so 0.0112. Okay. And then next, what's the probability if the carrier is Atlantic Southeast Airlines, which is 0.0107. 0.0107%. Okay. And again, so this one was actually a really quick activity. Probably could have done this without me. Just interpreting that table. Okay. Now this one, when we're talking about conditional probability, we've been using this phrase given that a lot of times. But that's not how we talk in normal everyday speak. So a lot of times what we'll say if we're using conditional probability, we're going to use the word if. So if we use the word if or given that, that means it is a conditional probability, and that's when we need to restrict the sample space that we're looking at. So then now let's look at this. You'll notice, and it's even true in this table down here for the oversold flights, there's the total category, but I didn't use that for any of these other ones because those were all conditional probabilities with restricted sample spaces. So here, the probabilities that new cars of different makes will have a malfunction in the air conditioner are given in the table. What is the chance that a given car will have a malfunctioning air conditioner given that it is of make C? So that means we're going to only look at that column, or that's a row, I guess. So it'll be 0.0108. And I just want to point out, if I didn't have this 0 here, I believe it's going to actually mark it wrong, incorrect. But if I put that 0 in front, I guess I just stuck it in. Okay, try again. 0.018 or 108%. Then it'll say, yeah, you're right, even though I just forgot to put the 0 in front. So if you did it on your own and I marked that wrong, just try it again with the 0 in front. Okay, so then another thing that happens a lot of times in air travel is that you get mishandled baggage. So if you scroll down, here is all of the data on mishandled baggage. We have my total category right here, and then broken down by airline. So let's go to this activity. What's the chance I'll have to file a mishandled baggage report if the carrier is Hawaiian Airlines? So this is how we know it's conditional, if it's Hawaiian Airlines. So I'm only going to look at the Hawaiian Airlines, which is 0.257%. Okay. And then now too, what's the chance I'll have to do that if I'm flying SkyWest? So I come over to SkyWest, and that's 0.407%. Okay, so again, that is restricting to just this SkyWest data. And then finally, what's the chance I'll have to do that if it's AirTran? So AirTran, we should put this in like alphabetical order or something, 0.132%. Okay, so far it's just a matter of interpreting the tables. We'll give ourselves a 5 for that. I'll submit that, yay, and then move on. Okay. Now you have to be careful because you have to identify what the condition is, and so the order actually does matter. Okay. So if we look at this question, what is the chance that I'll have to file a mishandled baggage report if the carrier is Hawaiian Airlines? Okay. If the carrier is Hawaiian Airlines, that's the condition. So we're only going to look at the Hawaiian Airlines data. And then if I look at what is the chance that the carrier is Hawaiian Airlines, if I have to file a missed baggage claim, the condition is if I have to file the mishandled baggage report, which the table doesn't tell us. So this is a totally different question than the other one, because the restriction is you have to have filed the report, then which airline would it be? So you just have to be careful about the order. Okay, here's another question for us to answer. The probabilities of different soccer teams scoring a goal within the first 5 minutes of a game are given in the table. So we want to find if a goal is scored in the first 5 minutes of the game, what is the probability that it was scored by team S? Okay, so really what this table is saying is the probability of scoring a goal given that you're a specific team. So this is the condition in the table. But in the question, the condition is if it's scored in the first 5 minutes, which we don't actually know that data. So this is going to be an insufficient amount because we don't know how many goals are scored throughout the whole game. So it's hard to say which one is scored by team S. So we can't do that. Okay. Something else that we can look at is on-time arrivals and departures. If you've ever had a flight be delayed, you know that can be incredibly annoying. So let's look at 15, or slide 15, this third activity. If I fly out of San Diego, what's the chance that I'll have an on-time departure? So I'm flying out of San Diego. Oh, alphabetical order, great. Now there's 2 columns of data. We want to have an on-time departure. So I'm going to come to the departure column, which is 89.2%. Which is correct. And then what's the probability that I'll arrive on time if I fly into Austin? So now I'm looking at Austin, and I want to arrive on time, which will be 84.2. I guess probably don't even need me for most of this tutorial. You can do this on your own. What's the probability that my flight will depart on time if I'm flying from Detroit? So Detroit is my condition, and I want it to depart on time, so it's 88.2. And then finally, I'm flying to Phoenix. That's my condition. What's the chance I'll arrive on time? So Phoenix, arrive on time is 89.2%. That's right, yay. Okay, the next activity is a little more interesting than these, just picking numbers off of the table. All right, so here we have another table, which is just kind of summarizing what we just did, but it's making the point to be careful that you look at the columns. Okay, if you have a table with lots of different columns, you want to make sure you're looking at the right data because a lot of these numbers are really, really close. So you have to make sure you're paying attention to whether it's an arrival or a departure. Here's a question. The probabilities by subject of on-time assignment submission and on-time arrival to class are given in the table. What is the probability that a math assignment will be submitted on time? So here's math. And then you need to make sure you pick the right column. We want to know when the assignment will be submitted on time. So it's going to be the 88.2. Okay. And so then now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the knowledge article and scroll down to the next table, which just has like all kinds of information on there. Okay, so we're going to look at this and we're going to have to interpret this. This is where we have to do a little bit more work. So in number 1, if the carrier is Virgin America, what is the chance my flight will be delayed? So the condition is Virgin America, and the chance my flight will be delayed. So we're going to go to Virgin America, and we have all of this data. Now, if you got to look at the columns. On-time arrival, I don't care about that. Canceled, nope. Diverted, nope. We have an air carrier delay, extreme weather. There's like 5 different kinds of delay. And then over here, there's no specification on what kind of delay. So what we have to actually do is find all of these delay percentages. And those are all independent of each other. So we're going to add them all up to find the total percentage probability that you'll be delayed. So that first percentage was for air carrier delay, 1.70. And then the next one was 2%, 2.57%. That's for the extreme weather and National Aviation System delay. And we had 0.01 and 1.73 for the rest of that, for the security and the late arriving aircraft. And if you add all of those things up, you're going to get 8.0%, 1%. And that is a chance that your flight will be delayed, because you have to add up all the reasons. In question 2, given that my Virgin America flight is delayed, what is the chance it was because of a late arriving aircraft? Now, the condition is that the flight is delayed. Okay, so we need to think of, that's my sample space, all of the flights that are delayed, which is the 8.01%. What's the chance that it's because of a late arriving aircraft? Well, if I come over here, late arriving aircraft is 1.73, but that's not the answer to the question that they asked. That's 1.73% of all of the flights. But what I need to do is take that 1.73 and divide it by 8.01, because I'm only looking at the delayed flights. And when I do that, I end up getting 21.6%. I think you actually get like 0.21, which if you write that as a percent, is 21.6%. Okay. So that is one of those examples of a conditional probability we need to pay attention to. This is really similar. What's the chance my flight is delayed if I'm flying JetBlue? So for JetBlue, I'm adding up all my delayed percentages, which would be 5.29 plus 0.04 plus 5.42 plus 0.03 plus 4.55. And when I do that, I get 15.33%. Okay? And then now, if my flight is delayed, so that means given that my JetBlue Airways flight is delayed, what's the chance it was because of extreme weather? Now, the extreme weather is 0.04. So what I'm going to do is do 0.04 divided by 15.33. That will give me 0.26%. So the chance of it happening because of extreme weather is pretty slim. Okay? And then finally, give ourselves a 5. So this table, this activity, we had to do a little bit of adding to figure out the total delay percentage, but still not too terrible. And this just kind of explains all that stuff we did. We have one more question and I think we'll be done. The probabilities of possible contamination in medicine capsules because of the presence of heavy metals and different types of microbes is given in this table. Ooh, boy, that's a mouthful. And we're able to move this around so we can see the whole thing. Capsule C shows microbial contamination. What's the chance that it's contaminated by Staphylococcus? Now some of you guys might be tempted just to come down here and say, oh, 0.24. But if you do that, you would be wrong. Okay? What you got to do is look at the condition. The condition is that if capsule C shows microbial contamination, so then I'm actually going to look at these 4 numbers here. Okay, those are the ones that have microbial contamination from different things. Not this first one, that heavy metal, I don't want that. So I'm going to add all of those up. 0.24 plus 0.24 plus 0.23 plus 0.3. When you do that, you get 1.01. So that's the total probability of microbial contamination. And you're going to do 0.24 divided by 1.01, which will give you actually 23.8. Okay? There's our summary. Here's our gold star, and we are done. As always, let me know if you have any questions. We are almost done doing the probability videos on Edmentum, and then we're going to move to Delta Math. So just keep on chipping away at Edmentum. I know it's not the most fun program. Let me know if you have any questions.